for everyone here in the audience today who is dissatisfied with the work that they're doing, with their career, with where things are going, as well as everyone watching at home, if you're dissatisfied with what you're currently doing, I'm going to challenge you in the next 7 days to get real practical and to carry out these steps, to begin building your body of work, to really get inside the head of someone who you'd love to work with. And hopefully for you guys here today, there's going to be a speaker who can be that person. I'd encourage you all to begin with someone whose work you are already familiar with. From there, go and meet them in person. From there, immediately follow up, and then put together your pitch email. Begin as soon as you send, writing your next, and if you keep doing this, in a matter of weeks, you will have a position with someone that you would love to begin working for. Now in life, we can hear great ideas, we can hear great action plans. However, it's only from really following through, the results will come. Matthew, in his dating work, is very fond of the saying, the most dangerous thing about regret is that we don't feel it yet. It's kind of a cheesy line, but I think it's very true. You do not want to come to a conference like this and not put the techniques of the likes of James and Sasha into practice in your romantic lives. You do not want to go away and not sort out your health. You do not want to come back and wake up in 20 years with all the consequences of eating crap food. Likewise, in 10, 20, 30, 40 years, you do not want to wake up with an unsatisfying career. Mentorship is a lifelong process. I myself am really just getting started here, but I hope this talk has been helpful in getting you on the first step of your journey. Thank you.
Awesome. Ed Druce. Great stuff. Who's got questions?
Could I also just add, I've put together a guide for everyone who's really serious today and they want to go and take this on. I've put together a guide, the 9 steps to getting the most out of a mentorship. So when you really get started, or if you're already in a position, these are the 9 things I wish I'd learned at 17 or I'd known at 17 to really get started. And you can get this at attractamentor.com. It's just for you guys here today.
Hey. The first thing I want to say is I really feel like people should believe in themselves a lot more, regardless of how old you are.
Okay.
Because, just a quick story about me. When I was in college, I decided that I didn't want to work for anyone.
Okay.
So I told my teacher and my role models that I was going to leave.
Okay.
And they all said, it's not going to work. And I said, watch me. So I left school, and about 3 months after, I'm making more than my school teachers.
Right.
And it's all because I took that chance,
Okay.
So I think your talk was great. Nice
Thank
job.
you, that's awesome. And just to make very clear for everyone here today, I'm not saying that you can't go out and do that. It's clear you can. However, you must still bring mentors into your life in one way, shape, or form. If there are people who already have mentors in their parents or in their teachers, use them. This is really for people who, again, they want to do something different, but they just don't know how to get that first step on the ladder. Yeah.
All right, so with the numbers game aspect to mentoring,
Yeah.
obviously you can't just hit up 20 people and hope that one of them wants to be your mentor. Where's the good balance there?
So in just the terms of the number of people you go after?
Yeah, so if you're looking for a specific mentor, maybe on business, how many
Yeah.
people would you contact? 1 at a time, or 2 or 3,
Okay.
10?
So this approach, if you're going through all of the steps, if you're literally consuming everything that this person has ever put out, that's going to take you at least a week to do. If it's taking more than, let's say, 2, 3, 4 weeks, you're probably going after too big a person. If I go and I try and contact Tony Robbins, who's been putting out material for 50 fucking years, I'm not going to get a response no matter what. You have to pick someone who's at the right level. You have to try and get in the shadows of someone who's moving, ambition being a key thing. But if you're doing this, it shouldn't take more than, I would imagine, 2, 3, 4, 5 attempts max to really get in with someone.
Hey, Ed.
Hello, Sasha.
I actually don't have a question. I just have a statement. I've known this guy for 4 years, actually since he was 17. And even back then, he was always asking questions and really listening intently. And he was never shy to just get in there and be like, what do you think of this? What do you think of this? And he just had an awesome energy and curiosity. And I just want to say I'm really proud of you. You've done fucking great.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. That's lovely to hear.
We have a question here on discipline. Could you expand a little bit more on discipline and the need for that at a young age?
I think it's a very interesting concept. I really buy into the idea that habits, that you have a finite amount of willpower, and if you're looking to build discipline, you have to automate habits. I have this idea that you should try and get healthy before you get rich, as it's much easier to automate your health than it is to automate your business in a form. You can automate habits such as eating the right things, going to the gym. People differ on the number of days it takes. Some say 21, some say 28, some say 66. But you have to try and get to a level where you're focusing on just one thing that you're really devoting all of your willpower to, and then from there, moving on, automating it and putting your energy into something else. So you want to get to a stage where it doesn't really feel like discipline, it's just something you do. So with work for me, I've been working with Matthew, if you're being forced into a position where you're working really damn hard every single day, that just becomes the norm. It's not something that you're necessarily exerting yourself over and above the norm to do.
Ed, you and I were talking earlier. I wanted to see if you could follow up with a little bit about finding a mentor, their values versus yours,
Yeah.
and where you distinct the line between monetarily what they're doing,
Yeah.
literally what they're doing, and the importance of those.
Yeah, this is a really interesting idea. When you're working with someone, at times there will be areas that you disagree on. There'll be points of friction in the way that they do something and the way you would like to do something. Now, it's easy for someone to say that this is the way and for someone to get really bought into this person's idea. But these points of friction are your unique selling point. When you go on to do your own thing, should you wish to, they're going to be the difference that will differentiate you from that person. So don't in any way buy into, as James was saying earlier in his talk as well, do not buy into just being into everything this person is saying. However, take the parts that work for you and adopt as much as you can.
Great speech. I have a question about, I think a lot of people will have that question back home. You said that you dropped out of high school.
Mm-hmm.
Have you had any negative consequences from that?
Any negative consequences? I would say that if you're not very wary of building a solid social life in going out on your own, that can come back to bite you. And it did bite me a year or two ago, where I found myself, I was in London and I'd really become a bit of a hermit in a lot of ways. Going to university is an amazing chance to make friends, to meet people and to build connections. I think I could have been a lot smarter in the way that I went approaching things, so I'd say that's something to watch out for. Just being very wary of being proactive in building social connections.
Looking back, would you have stayed?
No way. I'm in no way against college and university. This is a very sensitive subject, as for a lot of people it's a necessary stepping stone. You can go, you can have an amazing time, you can learn a lot. However, there are certain people I just don't think that it's necessary for. What I'll add is that if people, again watching at home here, if you choose to go to college, that is putting yourself at the bottom of the food chain. You should still be building your body of work, you should still be writing a blog, keeping a YouTube channel, and doing things that will allow you to differentiate yourself from someone.
Great stuff. Man, Ed Druce, awesome. Beautiful speech. Let's give him a round of applause.
Thank you.